Welcome to First and 15, fifth quarter. Guys, we want to talk about Dynasty. Listen, just because redraft is about to start, I think they get it. Just because we're about to start redraft season.
Still working on that.
Right. Dynasty is still in full swing. Sometimes people think about these off-season trades, but listen, the waiver wire still works. You
Dynasty
still put
never
in
stops.
It never stops.
Ever.
So let's talk about some of these Dynasty picks that people are...
Forever.
That's a generational thing. Like, I wonder if there are like some kids who watch this. It's like, when the hell are they getting that from?
My son knows. My son was dying through Sandlot. He's like, y'all had some good movies back in the day.
It really did.
But let's talk about Dynasty for a second. Some of the guys that might be on the waiver that you can pick up right now. I think the first waiver run, as we talked about earlier in the episode, is going to be this coming up Wednesday on FFPC. So if you guys play FFPC, you have to have your cut downs by Sunday.
Yeah.
And then the first waiver run is going to be on Wednesday. But Daya, but you are a guru on this, man.
See, here's the thing. I don't play FFPC Dynasty, so I know the rules are a lot different. So maybe these guys that I bring up today are not really guys that you even consider because the roster is a lot less. Typically, the roster I play in are like 28 and up. But I think FFPC is 20, right?
Yeah, it's really...
Yeah, you just playing in FFPC. You ain't serious.
Yeah.
Like me, by the way.
You're not serious.
I only play on FFPC.
Yeah, you're not serious.
Yeah, but shout out to Dave. He was on our show last week, and if you didn't check that out, go into our videos and kind of scroll down. You'll see the Dave Hubbard episode. But he mentioned a couple guys, that stuck out. Specifically Elijah Dotson and Emmanuel Wilson. And the reason I'm saying they stuck out is because, and I guess I'm kind of jumping the ship, putting the cart before the horse. But today is the day after cut down days, right? So a lot of these rookie running backs or these guys that we were excited about or look talented, they now have a clearer picture than what they had last week. Because now they're third on the depth chart or fourth on the depth chart, which is the way we view it is always one injury away or two injuries away. So they're now in that position, and especially with running back, it's one of those positions where if they show the talent, that talent can take them far. They can actually steal jobs just by showing talent. We've seen it all the time, like Arian Foster type things, Austin Eckler. So Elijah Dotson, he's out there in a lot of leagues for Dynasty. Very talented guy. I don't think he's too big, but I think he's over 200 pounds. So he has solid size. But he's a great option.
Yeah, the beautiful thing about him is Eckler is not going to be getting 250 plus carries. And they do want a complement running back. Obviously Moore came from a system where they had Pollard and Zeke. And Eckler has never really just been like that true full workhorse back.
Right.
And Eckler himself has been wanting someone to sort of kind of take the reins. And if you've heard Eckler, give interviews throughout the offseason, he's always basically talked about how it's just been a competition throughout camp. He's never really just said or talked about one guy as being that committee be back. So that room is wide open. Kelly has been Kelly. He had that long run, but still to me, he's Kelly. Like, who he is. He may win the job. He may be serviceable. He may be able to do everything right, just be okay. But there's room in that backfield for Dotson to come through. Spiller, I was never a Spiller fan. He's talked about how he's improved with the new running scheme. So I think that's a guy that, you still got to kind of consider too as well.
Yeah.
But essentially, it's an open room. So, it's fair game for really anybody.
Yeah.
And he made the team.
And you made a comment, Kelly might have won the job. I don't even care who won the job. Like, winning the job is irrelevant to me because it's a grind of a season.
Yep.
Right? So, yeah, you won the job now, but how are things going to look week 6, week 8, week 10? And we played football long enough to know that all these running backs are going to get their opportunities. They're going to be crazy waiver wire pickups every single week. Guys are going to get hurt. So play it out that way. So Elijah Dotson, and again, Emmanuel Wilson, who we heard today for the Packers, they were actually considering trading for Jonathan Taylor, which is interesting to me. Because that lets me know, okay, were they looking for running back help, or were they not comfortable with Aaron Jones?
Well, I think
Aaron Jones, more of a Dylan conversation.
I think it's more of a contract situation. Dylan's coming up on his, the end of his rookie contract. I think they probably you got to take a look at the contract, but they may have an out on Aaron Jones last year. But even if they just got rid of Dillon, like this is definitely a situation where they could have seen JT and Aaron Jones together and really lean on the run, and then just sort of kind of transition fully to JT once Aaron Jones' contract runs out.
Well, and with that not happening, then you look at Wilson like, okay, then he might have opportunity.
Yep.
If he shows himself well enough, they might say, okay, we actually got something.
Dillon ain't it. Dillon's not it.
Yeah.
He's a big guy, but he's not it.
Yeah.
He's not it.
So Wilson and Dotson. Another guy,
Jalil McLaughlin.
Yeah.
MCL. Because I kept trying to look for MCG, and I was like, I can't find that motherfucker. I was MCL, McLaughlin or something like that. The only issue, okay, so again, great player. He's shown a lot during this preseason. Very like shifty back. But the only issue I have with him is just his size. He's 5'7", sub 200 pounds. But we saw a quote recently where the team was actually saying, or maybe it was a coach that said, or maybe it was a beat writer that said, they envision him being in Darren Sproles' role, which is cool. You know, I'm not hating on that. But also I saw Sean Payton talking about him today. And Sean Payton was saying himself, man, ever since I forgot what game he said. He's like Niners or the Steelers. Like ever since that game, we knew he was a player.
The way
like
he ran it, that's why I sent that tweet. Or that, you know, the video, you know, sort of a couple play breakdown. These weren't screens. These weren't like, you know, outside zone runs. This wasn't like he had this wide open lane and just like took it 70 yards to the house like the, you know, kind of like the Josh Kelly. This was like he was patient in between the hole. He was waiting in between the blocks. He was making the right cuts. And these were like in between the tackle type runs. And so, again, this is a backfield where you have Samaje Perine, who's been Samaje Perine, you know. Whatever you want to think about that, he's been Samaje Perine. And then you have Javonte again coming off of that, you know, complicated ACL. You just don't know how that knee is going to react. So this guy made the team. This guy made the team. And coach has been talking about it.
Tyler Batty.
At the very least, even for redraft, keep this guy in the back of your head because you never know. Like, it may just be 1 week. And I don't think the Broncos are going to be good this year. I really think, I think Sean Payton has a very long leash. I think he's going to see what he can do with Russell Wilson. I think he's going to find out that he can't do much with Russell Wilson. I think this team is not going to win a lot of games. And I think they're going to really, you know, be looking at, you know, seeing what a lot of these younger guys can do. That's actually kind of been the main reason I've been on Marvin Mims. I just kind of had this feeling that the Broncos aren't it, and that towards the back end of the year, like, we may see players traded, we may see big names like Russell Wilson benched, and we may just see them just sort of kind of just try to rebuild everything from because he inherited a lot of these players, and I don't think he really wanted to. I think he wants to start from anew.
All right, so other guys I want to throw out, and I'm just. No specific order. Chris Rodriguez for the Commanders.
He's been beating that drum a long time.
I was beating that drum a lot, earlier in the offseason. I haven't really been bringing them up too much recently, but they only kept 3 running backs. And everybody knows the first 2. Right? And if you look at their playing style, Rodriguez is closer to Brian Robinson's style than Gibson is. So if Robinson was to go down, I would actually see Rodriguez being the guy that takes that role over Gibson. And the coach liked him coming out of college, so he already had the coach's, eye. And again, he's somebody that's probably available in a lot of your leagues. So Chris Rodriguez is there. Sean Tucker with the Buccaneers.
Love that guy.
People kind of forgot about him. But going into the college season last year, everybody was high on him. Everybody thought he was going to be one of the main backs. Came to draft season with a heart condition, some kind of medical condition teams were scared of, went undrafted. But from all reports we've heard thus far, he's looked good.
It's so clear, too, that he's like the best, potentially the best back there.
I think he's the best back there.
But definitely like the best guy behind Rachaad White. I think they're going to give Rachaad White the...
They're going to give him an opportunity.
And Rachaad White, he's looked, we only got like a small sample in the preseason, but he definitely looked a lot better.
I mean, if you look at the situations, what's the difference between the Bucs backfield and the Jaguars backfield? Because you could say Rachaad White is ETN. You could say Tucker could play the bruh. Bro, we got some ghosts in here because that mug really just tilted.
It sure did.
Yeah, it was on camera too.
Boy.
You need to play that back and see if you got some ghosts in here.
Right.
Some Blair Witch Project in this world.
Change the filter. Adjust the lighting.
Yeah, hey.
You see a shadow over one of us?
Yeah.
Somebody got some bad juju.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I could just see him being like how Tank, people envision Tank.
Yeah.
I could see Tucker being that same exact role, you know, so that's another guy.
Yeah.
The Bengals, Chris Evans and Trayvon Williams, I still don't know where it's at there,
Yeah.
but it's there. So there's an opportunity there.
Yeah.
So don't ignore that. I was banging the drum on Malik Davis. You know what? Scratch that. My bad.
Yeah.
That was totally
Same
wrong.
here.
But Rico Dowdle.
I tried to tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rico Dowdle. I mean, we'll see. He still has to compete with Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
You know. And then Justice Hill
Yeah, that's a good one.
for the Ravens.
Completely forgot.
They like him. They throw the ball. He's a good pass catching back. I've liked him since he was in college. I think he went to one of those Louisiana schools. Came out highly touted, but he just never got the work.
Yeah.
I don't even know
Smaller
if he made
back.
the
He
team.
just never really produced.
Yeah, he's smaller and everything, but he stayed at it.
Yeah.
Almost like Anthony McFarland, just stayed at it. You know, so just some guys you need to look at. And then have we talked about Kyron Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, we did?
talked about it a
Okay.
little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
talked
Well then go
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, like I'm surprised you didn't bring up your boy,
Who?
Cole Turner again.
I've talked about him enough.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy. Like we've
He's the guy?
established that.
He's the guy?
That's been
He's the guy.
solidified. Cole Turner is the guy.
Trey McBride. I mean, I know he's already on teams, but just for redraft purposes.
Well, the only problem with
Zach Ertz.
McBride is Ertz is back.
Well, they said Zach Ertz he was at a press conference today saying like he's not quite sure if he's going to play week 1.
Yeah.
And when guys are already kind of questioning that, you need to be questioning that too. So
Yeah.
unfortunately they're playing the Reds or the Commanders, so I
one
don't know
more.
how much of a shootout it's going to be.
One more for Dynasty. And shout out to Scott Barrett because he poured water on this guy.
Yeah.
But he's still alive. He's still here. He's still standing. Izzy Abanikanda.
Is he? Yeah.
He's still
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
I'm still standing. I'm still here. I'm still strong.
They cut Zonovan
Izzy.
Knight.
Yeah.
He's out the door.
Yeah.
They couldn't cut Izzy.
Dalvin Cook is there, but he's on a 1-year contract. Brees Hall is there. He's going to be there. And Michael Carter, I think when his contract is up, which should be very soon, because I think this is his 3rd year or 4th year? I think this is his 3rd year, right?
Yeah, third year.
Yeah.
Third year.
I don't think they're going to re-sign him. Like, why would you? So then I think eventually, like in a year or two, Abanikanda will be number 2. Of course, they can bring somebody in.
Yeah.
But the guy's only 20 years old, freak spark athlete. And again, he made the team.
Yeah.
So,
All right, that's our Dynasty segment.
yes, sir.
Straight from the guru's mouth.
Yeah, man, pick those guys up.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, please like, rate, subscribe. We're out.
I'm all alone, and I know nothing to do. Helps me forget about you. You just came out of the blue. If you only knew. Let's sit and have a cup of coffee. Let's go to a restaurant. Go to a field, pick up some strawberries.